Alrighty, looks like we are live. Let's see. Get some music. Okay. Nice. Okay, you guys should be able to hear that. Awesome. I tweaked my mic settings, so let me know how my microphone is and how the music is. There we go. How's everyone doing? It's been a while. I haven't streamed in a hot minute. We got... Is it Ajax or Jax? I can't tell if it's Haha Jax or Ha Ajax. Or maybe it's... Yeah. We got Justin, Alzern. How's it going? What's up, Mason? Mr. Scotty. Hello, Echo. Good to see ya. Hello, Goblin Boy. Hello, Mr. Scotty. How are you doing? I think I'll skip the Goblin hat today because I gotta wear my headset. Hello, Paint Jumper. Happy birthday. Oh, just Jax? Alright, sweet. I can remember that. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday. It's Mother's Day. I'm not your mother. Yeah, I'm definitely not your mother. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Let me see if I can... Yes, I can. Show you more of me, less of my back. There we go. Cool. Bonjour. How's it going, Cookie? How's it going, Leafrey? I think you are my mother. That's very possible, Echo. And if that's the case, I expect my Mother's Day card in the mail post-haste, because I haven't received it yet. This microphone stand has springs, you know, to kind of, or some sort of suspension to keep it, you know, upwards. But the problem is it's really strong, so I have to like really cinch down the hinges. This project is taking too long. I hope it has mobile support. Yeah, we'll see about that. That's a tough, that's a tall order. It is taking a while though, but it's just me, just little old me. Do your goblins give you Mother's Day cards? You know, they don't. I don't think they can write very well. How's it going, Tater Tot? Welcome in. Ooh. A Max Verstappen Funko Pop. Let's go. Tater Tot. I remember you were somebody who speaks frequently. Are you Sweet Tea? You're Sweet Tea, right? Yes, I think you are Sweet Tea. If I remember correctly. It's been like a month, hasn't it? How was your break? It was great. Yeah, I took a 1 month little break, a little vacation. I was starting to burn out a little bit, but I'm feeling much better. And now I'm back at, I'd say 80% capacity. I just want to get this devlog done. Right now it's 40 minutes because I have a lot of gameplay footage. It's crazy. Crazy. We got a lot of drawings to do. Lots of drawings to do. Wait, Sweet Tea is Tater Tot? Yeah, they changed their persona. Planning on sleeping, but I guess there's no need for that. Who needs sleep, Echo? Come on. I actually only got 3 hours of sleep last night. Isn't that crazy? I was sleeping over at a friend's, but it was hot because they didn't have AC. It was crazy. Do we have a planned release date yet, or did you push it back more? It's pushed back a month from what I posted in the last devlog, unfortunately. But I needed a break. When you add cosmetics for the goblins to wear, you should do a competition for one fan design to be added. That'd be fun. How can I support you? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm broke. Yeah, just wishlisting, I guess, and liking and commenting on the videos and stuff. That's pretty solid. When are you gonna get married? Ooh, that's a good question. Probably not anytime soon. should get a custom modder cosmetic. That'd be sick. That'd be really fun. Yeah, I'd like to do something like that. Done that on all 3 of my Steam accounts. Let's go. Dang, that's what I like to hear. Alright, before I get too distracted, let's see what we have to do today. Last weekend, I have been slaving away on this goblin game for about 2 years now. It's been coming along quite nicely, and it's completely unique and unlike anything. This is me saying it's been coming along quite nicely. I'm going to put the Isle Goblin logo on this guy's face right here. Nicely, and it's completely unique and unlike anything that has ever existed in the history of video games ever. And it's completely unique, unlike anything that's existed in the history of video games ever. Okay, so I need to be holding the child, and then I'm going to be throwing it up in the air. Alright. We can do that. I can remember that. Yeah, paint jumper is my partner trying to figure out when I'm going to get married. That'd be wild. The YouTuber voice is so funny. I know. It's so funny. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my video. I've been going to a lot of Twitch streamer streams and tell them about your game. Let's go. Oh, thanks, Mason. Spreading the good word. Mason is my my soldier in the field for me. Might start streaming when Subnautica 2 comes out. Yes. I want to play Subnautica still. I haven't yet. I did start Dave the Diver. I got pretty far. That's a fun one. I'm enjoying it. Hello, Tempura Cat Games. How's it going? Good to see ya. I love seeing your posts in the Discord. Alright, now I need to draw a goblin holding up the baby goblin, about to throw him. Yeah, let's just, something like, we'll do the arms first. Something like this. I don't know. Just drawing up some goblins. Okay, like that. Okay, that looks okay-ish. Watching while playing Minecraft is peak. Let's go. Guys, I still haven't seen the Minecraft movie. Can you believe it? There's a girl I've been talking to for a couple months. We went to a movie. We watched, what was it, Sinners? And I was like, we should watch the Minecraft movie. And she was like, ew, no. She's never played Minecraft. I was like, what? Ew, she says. How could this be? I've heard decent things. I've heard if you're a Minecraft fan, it's an okay movie, but otherwise it's just like, what am I watching? Sinners was incredible. That was a good one. It was really long. I mean, what was it? It was 2.5 hours, or was it 2 hours and 45 minutes? It didn't feel that long, which is good. As long as I can't feel how long a movie is. If I'm sitting there like checking my watch, then yeah, bad movie, but it was good. Some things felt a little strange, but otherwise it was a pretty solid movie. I like the music. Is she a baddie with a yacht? I'm not going to answer that. How's it going, Mark? I'm doing great. How are you? I'm feeling good. I had a nice little break. I took a month off of making games. Touched some grass, as they say. Saw the world. Now we're back in action. Gonna get this devlog out and keep going. We're gonna do that NPC dialogue that I've been procrastinating on because it's so scary. Having to write all the dialogue for all the NPCs, bro, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Oh, let's go. Thanks, Mason. Marketing stuff is tough. Ooh, get some festivals later? Nice. Yeah, dude, I was looking at all the Steam festivals. Not a lot of them are very good for Isle Goblin this year. Like last year, I think there was like a sandbox festival or something like that. I was like, oh, dang, I wish my demo was done. But it wasn't. You know, I missed my opportunity. And now all of them this year I don't qualify for. At least all the ones they posted as of a couple months ago. But what can you do? There's always Next Fest. Does she know about Isle Goblin? Yes, she does. She's very supportive. She's not much of a gamer. I've kind of learned that in relationships, I don't know. I don't think shared interests are as important as I once thought. She's open to games. You know, she's played a lot of like Mario Kart, Smash Bros, stuff like that, but doesn't really play other games actively. But we'll see. We will see. You know, that might make her a good candidate to playtest the game, you know? Somebody who's not super familiar with all the mechanics. You know, it's somebody who's like played Terraria 1,000 times. They're just going to know exactly how to open every menu. But somebody who's like never played really any games, they're like a blank slate. It's kind of the perfect candidate. I was thinking like, I mean, my mom plays games, but she's not like, she's not like a Terraria gamer, you know? So I was thinking she'd be a good candidate, but I just need to find non-gamers. Last time I saw you, I was in high school. Now I'm in college learning game design. Let's go. That's awesome. Oh, thanks, Alzern. Yeah, I saw your message in the chat. I didn't get a chance to respond to it, but I really appreciate it. Been glad you've been enjoying it. Coaches don't play. That's funny, Echo. You're a chill guy. Thank you, Fion. I appreciate it. Watching non-gamers play is painful. I was teaching Minecraft to a 9-year-old. Oh, no. That's tough. Yeah, it can be kind of brutal, can it? The Return of the Wild. Let's go. How's it going, Snout? Glad to see ya. Just drawing some devlog drawings as we do. Just a typical Mother's Day. Did everybody hang out with their moms today? I did my Mother's Day stuff yesterday. Doubt this will happen, but what's the plan if Isle Goblin flops? You know, it very well might. I think I'm going to work... Well, that's actually a really good question. I might accept my fate and just realize, you know, maybe I'm not a game developer. Just kidding. I'm going to keep making games, I think. But I think I'm going to not make as huge of games. I mean, I need to be focusing... I don't know. I'd hate to make another huge game and have that flop, you know, and just waste another 3-4 years. Can you imagine? So I might make a tiny game after. Try to be the next Balatro or something. Not that that is a tiny game, but it's relatively a lot smaller. But we'll see. It's hard to know. I might take a little break too. Is it Mother's Day? It is Mother's Day. Go call your mother. Here's the deal. Everyone who forgets that it's Mother's Day and didn't call their mom, we're going to have to, you have to give me their phone number and we'll call them together on stream and publicly shame you. Ooh, got ice cream and walked around town. That's fun. Do you ever start an indie game studio if IO Goblin's successful? I think that'd be fun. I'd like to not do so much stuff, you know? I'd like to have... I'd like to do the concept art and maybe the preliminary art for things, but I might not like to be the animator. I'd like to maybe hire another pixel artist. I'd like to have a heavy hand in the code still. And I would not want to do sound effects. So I'd like to hire people for all that stuff. And obviously I already hire people for music. I'd keep doing that. Although it would be fun to try my hand at composing maybe. Been, doing my violin lessons, some music theory here and there. I'm not at a composing level by any means, but it'd be fun to try. Maybe just for fun. I don't know. Maybe I'm good at it. We'll see. But yeah, it'd be fun to have a team. It'd be nice to just have a bunch of people I could trust to make good stuff, you know? Where I'm not sweating about whether it's good or not. Okay, Snout, thanks for dropping by. To add portal travel. Yeah, there's, we added some... It's these giant mole creatures. I think in the devlog it was turtles, but I changed it to moles because that was more fitting. Hey, what the heck? Oh, Z. There we go. That once you clean enough of the pollution in an area, the little mole will pop up, and then you can. It'll be like, oh, I can finally dig through the dirt now that all the pollution is clean. Where do you want to go? And it can take you to one of the other moles. So there's kind of teleportation because the map's really big and it's annoying to walk over and over again to the same places, you know. Oh yeah, that is fair paint. That makes sense. Speaking of the moles, any intention to let players move the moles? Ooh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, I think I could get behind something like that. That makes a lot of sense. Because, yeah, if you're unlucky and the closest mole is, like, super far away, then you gotta walk all the way over. Yeah, that's fair. You should allow some top donators or members to do some random grunts for enemies or characters as some reward. Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, voice acting. That'd be sick. But then the problem is if they have, like, a bad mic or whatever, you know? I just wouldn't be able to use it. Oh, Mason, thank you for the super chat. Can you please somehow sneak the name Karami in the dialogue for one of the characters? Karami is my mom's name, so it would honestly be great if you could do that. She supports you too, so she'd get a kick out of it. Oh, that would be really fun. Karami, how could I do that? I'll add it to my notes. I'm about to do all the dialogue, so that is very wholesome. And you did super chat $20, so I'll try to squeeze it in. Let me go over here and add a card on my Trello. At the very least, I could probably put it in some text somewhere on like a gravestone or something like that. But we'll see. We love them, but all of ours are on the edges of the map. Oh, that's super annoying. Yeah, that would be a good character. Oh, it's pronounced Karami. Thank you. That's important. Yeah, I was doing like a Japanese pronunciation. Karami. I'll write that down so I don't forget. Nice. Oh, Echo, thank you. Wow, another super chat. How do you gave this covers the Minecraft movie? I don't know either, but I'm gonna go watch the Minecraft movie now. All alone. Maybe I can get her to go with me. We'll see. Favorite Dr. Pepper flavor? Oof. I actually haven't experimented too much with Dr. Pepper flavors, but I love Dr. Pepper. That's my new go-to drink. It used to be Sprite, But now Sprite's a little too punchy for me. I think I'm a wimp. You know, I drink it and I'm like, my eyes, my face hurts. Young me was like, the pain, but old me is like, ugh, the pain, you know? I do love a good Sprite, though. I'll still drink Sprite and Mountain Dew. But Dr. Pepper's my new go-to whenever I'm like at a restaurant or something. But yeah, I think I'd like the cherry. I think I've had the cherry one, maybe. I don't know. It's been a while. You'll be there in spirit. Let's go. I'll buy 2 seats, and I'll leave the one empty next to me so that I can pretend you're there with me. How's it going, Shalite? Good to see ya. We're doing good. We're doing the drawings for the devlog. And you know how they kind of wiggle around and shake? That's why I'm tracing. I'm tracing it on a new layer so that I can kind of overlay them and it'll look like they're all wiggling. Dr. Pepper's good. Oh, last question before I gotta hop off. Will the Patreon be starting up automatically again, or do we gotta resub? Not too familiar with Patreon. That is a good question. It will resume automatically. Yeah, I just paused the payments for 1 month while I took my little breaky break. But it should be firing up again soon here. No action required. If all is as it should be. Live stream the Minecraft movie. I think that's a crime. But, maybe. The police might break down my door and say, hey, you. Who said you could do that? Pro tip, if you know anyone called Dennis, take them with you. It was very funny when Steve started singing to Dennis and I was sitting next to a Dennis. Ooh, okay. I do know a Dennis. I'll maybe... He's an old man that I worked with, but that could be fun. Me and old coworker Dennis. Oh, glad to be supporting the game again. Anyway, have a good time. Yeah, thanks for coming, Alzern. I appreciate it. And I am happy to be back in action. Feels good to be back on it. Buy the rights to the movie? Yeah, let me just go do that real quick. If you guys super chat me, like $2 billion, I can buy the rights to the Minecraft movie. All right, now we gotta have him throw the goblin baby up in the air. In a wholesome way, not in a... Ooh, can you be louder? Testing. Testing. Testing? What is going on here? Hang on, guys. Oh, here it is. Sorry, I think I just assaulted your ears. Is that better? I'm capping out. There we go. That's probably good, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to destroy your earbuds. Eardrums. Let me know how that is. That should be a little better. Okay, cool. Sweet. Sorry about that. Ooh, Tomorrow Cat Games, thank you. I appreciate it. The super chat. And Echo, of course, thank you yet again. That actually does cover the rights to the movie. I will go contact Mr. Jack Black himself. I'll be right back. He owns the rights, right? He's not just an actor. Definitely. Yeah, I'll go pay him post haste. Sorry, I'm gonna have to move my mic. You guys might get... No, that wasn't that bad. There we go. My goodness, Mason, thank you. Here's the rights to the movie and enough for beef jerky. Let's go. I love me some beef jerky. Is that like a common theater snack? I know, Mason's ballin'. I really appreciate it. This mic stand kind of sucks, dude. Oh my goodness, Echo. Again, thank you. I'm eating cheese right now. I got Apple credits. Let's go. Minecraft movie's $10 to take this. Thank you, guys. Paint Jumper, I appreciate it. The super chats are flowing in today. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I guess I'm watching the Minecraft movie after this. Maybe I can get my brother to go with me. I think he's already seen it. That was my last super chat. Wow, richness stream. I know, this is, I think, the most lucrative stream we've ever done, guys. You guys are funny. It's much appreciated. This is what happens when Patreon's pause. Yeah, where's the money go? It's just burning a hole in your pocket, huh? Legally change your brother's name to Dennis. Okay, I'm sure I could go do that. Yeah, he'd like that, probably. I think Dennis is a good name. It sounds like dentist, and that's a very, respectable profession. Which I think is a huge part of what makes a game good. A name good, not a game. Guys, I took a, not to totally change the subject, I took a pottery class yesterday. It's pretty crazy. I give you enough to get 4 Minecraft movie tickets. Yeah, I could take the whole squad. The whole Twitch chat can come with us. Or I guess YouTube chat. I'm used to Twitch. Alright, everyone. Minecraft movies on me. Let's go. People clapped on Chicken Jockey. Sounds about right. I've heard people have been, throwing stuff. Going a little too crazy with it. That'll be me. Better watch out. I'm certainly known for my disruptive theater behavior. Sorry, I'm focusing on this guy's mouth. Never did pottery, but made a zombie head out of clay and painted it. That's pretty sick. Yeah, one of my pots turned out really demented, but I tried my best. It's kind of hard. I can make a stupid video game, but I can't make a pot. What's wrong with me? I bought Oblivion Remastered yesterday. My computer crashes. Oh, every time you try to play it more than 2 minutes? Dang, that's really unfortunate. Yeah, I got the remaster, but I haven't played it yet. I've never played it before. I started, my first Skyrim experience was, or Elder Scrolls experience was Elder Scrolls 5. I've heard good things about Oblivion, though. Do you think you'll add anything zombie related? I do have some zombie goblins already. It's in a small coastal town. Which one of the NPCs is from? Very mysterious. But not too much besides that. There are some humans that got corrupted by the goop and are kind of zombie-esque. But yeah. Not too much zombiness going on. Oh, guys, I didn't mention. Yes, I've been in addition to taking my 1 month break, I also was asked to join a guest lecture, to give a guest lecture, at Stanford on Friday. That was kind of crazy. It was over Zoom. I thought I'd get to go visit San Francisco and go on campus, but it was just a remote thing. But still, that was kind of fun. They wanted me to talk to their computer science kiddos. I left Skyrim, so I got Oblivion Remastered. My poor PC is on fire. Dang. Yeah, I downloaded... Oh, man, what's the new game from... I think it was Bethesda, the Starfield, Star something. I downloaded that one, and I tried to play it, but since I didn't put it on my SSD, I put it on my HDD, it was lagging like crazy. I didn't realize it would have such a huge effect. But I guess most games now are built with the intent that you're using a solid state to pull things from memory, because it was just lagging like crazy, and my PC is kind of a monster, so I was like, what? It took me a while to figure it out. Someone with your full name donated to a charity and shows up on the background check. That's pretty awesome. You know, free clout. I mentioned a storyline where you had to find a cure for the goblin in your village or he will die. That'd be sick. Went to Boston last week. Do not drive in Boston. Dang. Yeah, I don't know much about Boston driving, but I'll take your word for it. Huh. I know this is far into the future. Do you know what kind of games you might want to make in the future? That's a good question. I've always wanted to make like a factory game, like kind of like Factorio or Shapes or, you know, some of those. But I don't know. That might not. I'm not sure if I enjoy that too much. I've also wanted to make like a really simulation-heavy game, like Dwarf Fortress or RimWorld type thing. I think that'd be really fun. But it's already I don't know. There are a lot of good ones. I think I'd want to really brainstorm and try to come up with something unique and creative because I think IO Goblin's kind of unique, but at the end of the day, it's kind of just top-down Terraria. I'm doing a lot of like, I don't know. I could be more creative, you know? You should actually make Clean Up on IO Goblin where you simulate a grocery store. That'd be sick. Yeah, a Goblin grocery store, like Overcooked style game would be really fun. I think that would actually go pretty hard. My whole online persona is kind of centered around goblins. Like, let's say my next game involved, like, gnomes, you know? My whole brand is just kind of ruined. I didn't really think that through. But people will figure it out. I just changed my little picture to a gnome that looks similar. Maybe the similar yellow background. Have you played Schedule 1? I bought it and I've downloaded it on my Steam Deck, but I haven't played it yet. My tattoo artist was recommending it to me. Yeah, it looks fun. But I've been playing Dave the Diver, so I gotta finish that first. Thoughts on orcs in the game? The way I have the like lore set up, the goblins are kind of descended from orcs. So I might have like some in the deeper levels, but I haven't planned all that out yet. So I'm not opposed to it. I think I might have some like really brutish orcs. The idea is these like deep dwelling evil orc creatures came to the surface and slowly acclimated to, you know, kind of a more agricultural based lifestyle instead of like hunting in the depths. And so you kind of ended up with the more peaceful goblins up above. So it could be there are still some orcs lingering down in the depths. British orcs. Yeah, all the orcs in the game are British. They all have knives. They're like, it's a goblin in it, and then they stab you. That's canon. Can you add cats perchance? I think a cat would be a wholesome addition to the game. Alright, that drawing's done. That one was kind of hard for me for some reason. But that's okay. Can't confirm. Happened to me today in London. That's pretty wild. I've never been to London. My sad fact is I've never left the United States. I'm a sheltered little American. And like I live in San Diego. Mexico is like an hour away. I've never gone to Mexico. But I just got my passport, so hey, maybe I'll drive to Mexico. A little boys' night to Mexico. That'd be sick. Get some food. You have desert goblins. You should add Arctic goblins. That'd be sick. Yeah, I want to add more goblin town, or you know, goblin people around the island. It's just more NPCs to make. It takes so much time. I think goblins would own snail pets. You know, I think that's valid. I do like snails. I think they're one of my favorite creatures in the real world. I love me a good snail. I know they're like a menace if you own a garden, I think, but they're just so cute. So slimy. So slow. Can't wait for Goblin Con. That'll be sick. Yeah. Goblin Con will be awesome. I wonder if I'll ever see cosplays of the characters in the game. That'd be wild. Crazy. What side profile stream? I know, my camera's over there. You get to see the side of my head, my beautiful jawline that my beard hides. How are you doing? Nothing new. You could have jungle goblins that have tiki torch masks. Ooh, I love that. Jungle goblins with tiki masks. That would be really cute. I would be widely taken aback if this game didn't take off. Well, I appreciate it. Hopefully, I think the stage is set for it to do well as long as it's good. I think at this point, I've got a decent number of wish lists, decent following. I think once I enter the festivals, you know, I really think, you know, like let's say you're making a game and you don't market it at all. Even if it's a really good game, it could still flop just because it got buried, you know, in all the junk. I think I'm in a spot where it will be visible. It just has to be good, which is a scary thought. But I think it's, at the very least, in its current state, on the way there. Watt actually doing a stream that kind of fits into Europe as a W. Yeah, I tried to make it a little earlier than I normally would have. What do I normally do, like 6 p.m. PST? Shooting to get our Europeans some reasonable... Get you guys to bed on time. Hello, Jules. Oh, thanks for the super chat. I love this game already, and take this to maybe help. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to see ya. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. That does help. Now I can afford snacks when I go to the Minecraft movie. You know what I'm doing on Friday? The Natural History Museum has... They call it Nat at Night, where you can go... You can get food and drinks and bring them in, and then explore the museum at nighttime. It's gonna be kind of crazy. Well, nighttime museum time. Pretty wild. What's opinion on Arctic Monkeys? I don't know if you're talking about the band or adding like Arctic Monkeys to the game in the tundra. But I do like the band. I feel like I only know their popular stuff. Let me look at their let me peruse the discography. That's probably the most rigid way to say that. Arctic Monkeys. I Wanna Be Yours, a banger. 505 banger, #1 party anthem. I'm having trouble remembering what that one sounds like. Do I Want to Know? Banger. Why'd You Only Call Me When You're High? Banger. Yeah, bangers down the list. I love me some Arctic Monkeys. I'm a frequent like Spotify shuffle guy, so I struggle linking tracks to bands. Like I'll hear something, you know, somebody will be like, "Oh, have you heard this song?" I'll be like, "No," and then they'll play it. And I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've heard that." But that's just me being dumb. You live in the great land of Kentucky, so I'm always on the American clock. Let's go. I've never been to Kentucky. Where's your hat? Since I have to wear the headset, I opted not to. It's regrettable. I love the band, but I haven't listened to their newer songs. Yeah, I guess I haven't listened to a lot of the new stuff. Animatrix, how's it going? It's going good. We're drawing. Drawing our devlog drawings. Oh, hey, go away. We're having fun, yapping it up. Why can't I hear my music? There we go. This House is a Circus is a banger. I'll have to listen to that one. Oh, Paint Jumper, are you heading out? Thanks for dropping by. It's good to see you. Drawing beautifully, I see. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. You know, my grandfather does a lot of watercolor art. He very much fostered my art, you know, when I was a kid. He always, like, he gave me, when I was in, like, 6th grade, he gave me a Photoshop license because he had a spare one. And that kind of got me into digital art really early on. But anyways, he does a lot of watercolor. And on Thursday, we're going to go to the park and draw things that we see. It's very much like an old man activity, you know? Go to the park and do watercolor drawings. But that should be fun. I'm really bad at watercolor. I might just stick to ink. When early access? JK, take your time, mate. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, one of these days. And the worst part is I just took a month break, so everything got pushed back a month. Naughty me. But I needed a break to kind of reset my brain because I'm about to enter the really creative stages of the game where it's like a lot of dialogue and like things like that. I think it was good that I took a little break, but definitely set me back. But what can you do? Everybody needs a break every now and then. Do you watch F1? I don't, but I have a friend that's really into it. Is it worth watching? Maybe I should. Alright, so we just finished our second drawing. That kind of actually took us a really long time. Let's see here. It's coming along quite nicely, and it's completely unique and unlike anything that has ever existed in the history of video games, ever. Okay. Okay, well, apparently there are a handful of similar games. Oh, yeah. I know what I'm going to draw. Sorry, I got distracted. Max Verstappen. That's the part of game dev that makes my 2 brain cells implode. It sounds like a break was the perfect thing to do. I have to take breaks for my personal projects as well, or I get burnout. Yeah. Yeah, it was a nice little break for sure. Yeah, and we're back on the grind. I also kind of had to... I guess this is kind of a weird thing to say, but work hasn't been as miserable as it has been in the past, so... I haven't been as motivated to, like, you know, Isle Goblin was always my way out, you know, my kind of like, you know, this, if I complete the game and it does well, I won't have to work anymore. But work has been kind of okay, which is a good thing, but it means I'm less like existentially motivated to work on the game. It's kind of a weird situation. But I'm back on the motivation. Not to say that work has been bad or anything, but I'm feeling motivated again. I think it'd be really, you know, back on the grind. Why does an indie dev? Oh, as an indie dev, what do you think about indie devs using AI? I watch a lot of devlogs and seeing they keep using it, which is kind of understandable, but still disappointing. I see that too. I see it in thumbnails a lot, and I'm like, guys, come on. But I don't know. I guess that's one of the more benign uses. It is kind of annoying. I imagine if you're not an artist, it's probably just a pain to make thumbnails, so I can see why people do that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess to be completely honest, I don't really care too much. I know there's a case to be made that the AI is just stealing art from artists. I don't know. It's just such a nuanced topic. It's hard to form a reasonable position. I think I cringe when I see it in art. Seeing it in things like using AI to like have it explain topics to you. Wonderful use, you know. I don't know. I would never use it for art myself, I don't think, but it is. Yeah, it's just such a tough topic. Would you rather have $27 or fight a goblin? I would never fight a goblin, ever. Actually, it's funny in the video. I play Necess, Core Keeper, and Tinkerlands, which are all games kind of like Owl Goblin, which is why the video is so long. It's like 35 minutes because I'm playing all these games and doing gameplay reviews. And there's a lot of goblin enemies, and I make jokes about having to kill them. You'll see. Yeah, debugging or explaining a bug is also a good AI use. Yeah, I don't know. I think to an extent, art, if something is to be considered art, then I don't think you should be using AI for it. Like, I don't know. But for something that's just more technical task, I don't think it's that bad. You know, like, if I have to write 10 bullet points for my Steam page, and I say, hey, AI, here's what my game is. Can you write me 10 bullet points? And then it just does that. Like, there's nothing too inherently human about those bullet points. You know, it's like, I'm fine with that. But just art itself, like, being used instead, I don't know. I'm not really into it. But then the people who say, well, the people who are like, I don't like AI being used for art because it's just referencing images online and, you know, creating a model of what's similar between those and spitting something out. And so it's essentially kind of just copying what it sees. I see that. I guess my issue with that is that humans kind of do the same thing to an extent. Like when I'm drawing, my art style is a culmination of things I've seen. So if an AI's art style is a culmination of things it's seen, there's maybe some nuance there, but I'm kind of agnostic. Which AI do you use? Yeah, whenever I use it for stuff, I just use ChatGPT. But I haven't done any image stuff. Even, you know, I've tried to, but at least to like, for maybe like concept art, I'd be like, ooh, I want to like, you know, what might this weapon look like or something, but it never turns out good. And I'm like, yeah, even for concept art, I don't really like this. I'd rather just do it myself. Yeah, but in referencing a person, it's still had to make it. Yeah, that's true. I use T3 chat. It's very cheap and has different models. Oh, that's cool. I've never heard of that. I forgot what our goblin was saying here. Let me replay that. Along quite nicely and it's ever. Okay, well, apparently there are. So open mouth talking, hands down. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Sorry, chat. I need to draw this before I forget. I'll read you in just a moment. Gotta lock in. That's very Adventure Timey. I love Adventure Time. Such a good show. Such a good show. Here we go. Alright, I'm back. Will you add dragons to the game? That'd be sick. There are some dragon skulls, implying that there used to be dragons. I don't know if I'll add Full-on dragons. I think it'd be fun. I absolutely love the mouths. Thank you. Yeah, I go very Adventure Time with the mouths. A lot of this art is very Adventure Time inspired, especially the noodle arms. I love that show, dude. Ah, so good. I just rewatched Over the Garden Wall. So good. Potatoes and molasses. That's a rock fact. Good show, good show. Yeah, BMO's my favorite, dude. I still need to get that BMO tattoo. Don't know where I'm going to do it. Boop, boop, boop. There's kind of a Gravity Falls look to this mouth as well. Dragon mod? That'd be sick. Double chin goblin doodles are the best. Heck yeah. I just watched Wild Robot. So many feels. I still haven't seen that. Is it on streaming services now, or it's not still in theaters, right? That was ages ago. That's the new one, right? The newish one? I've heard good things. Ah, why is my phone beeping? Shut up. Silence. Know your place, phone. Oh, I think that's actually my laundry timer. Laundry. Gotta do laundry. Even game developers will wash their clothes. Some of them do, at least. Can't speak for all of them. You give the final boss a pet. That could be a dragon skeleton that is filled with pollution mouse. Ooh, you know what? Yeah. I am going to have a necromancer boss, and I haven't really figured out exactly what he's going to be like. He could have some, like, dragon skull worms that swim around. That'd be awesome. Gotta go see ya. Alright, Animatrix, thanks for dropping by. I'm going to sleep. Alright, Echo. It's nice to have you. Enjoy your sleep. I could use some sleep. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I only got 3 hours last night. It was so hot. It was so hot. I was sleeping over at someone's house, and bro, there's no AC. I was melting. Melting into a puddle. See, a goblin necromancer or a human? He is a human. He's one of them human baddies. I think having a goblin boss would be fun. One that turned evil. Maybe a traitor that gave away the island's position. You make it where if you die on the necromancer boss in return, you have to fight a skeletal version of yourself. Ooh, I like that. That could be really fun. Yeah, what if the boss is like impossible on the first go? That'd be interesting. And then you fight yourself. Pretty awesome. A human that uses dead goblins. That'd be sick. Yeah, I could put a bunch of goblins in the intro cutscene, so the whole time the player's like, huh, I saw these characters in the cutscene, but I haven't seen them in the game yet. And then they have to... Or even better yet, have some goblins that join the village and then disappear. That'd be sick. Very morbid. I like morbid. That's so metal. Yeah. Heck yeah. What's next? I'm craving a snack, but shoot, I don't have any good snacks in the fridge. I have apples. I don't want an apple right now. That's okay. We'll power through it. We'll be tough. Okay, so this goblin with his hands up shows when I say this. Where is it? This. Okay, well, apparently there are... Okay, well, he has his hands up. And then he's going to say, apparently there, and he's going to be the exact same, but with his hands on his hips. So now I just need to draw one with his hands on his hips. The hips don't lie, they say. You just had popcorn for a snack. Popcorn's such a good snack. So light, low calorie. It's the best. Necromancers are my favorite type of mages. I think I agree. It's a really cool, they're really cool. So edgy. I've always been really in love with, like, illusion magic as well. I think that's pretty cool stuff. Very filling. Yeah, very filling indeed. Popcorn's awesome. Make him a necro dancer. Let's go. That's a good game. Crypt to the necro dancer. I'm really bad at it. Hands on his hips. There we go. This is how Adventure Time does this. I really steal their art style a lot. Oh, he's sassy now. Yeah, he's sassy. Just a sassy goblin sassing it up. What is your favorite diode? Last question. Wow, that's a fun question. I love me a zero bias Shocky diode. Great for rectification. That's my favorite diode. That's a great question, actually. Thank you. Thank you very much for that, Echo. You could have bosses work together in certain situations, like the Necromancer and the Huntress could team up so she could kill woodland creatures and he could revive them. That would be really cool. I actually really like that. Yeah, hunting woodland creatures. Hi, Watt. I'm playing Idle Goblin. I'm loving it. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. That makes me quite happy to hear. I'm really excited to polish it more. Put a little bow on it. And open up the demo. But yeah, I really appreciate it. What, did you tell your mom Happy Mother's Day? I did. I was a good boy. We had dinner yesterday, or lunch yesterday. Pretty awesome. Word I recognize, rectification. AC to DC, right? Yes. Or, I said rectification. They're really good for, well, yeah. Rectification. If you want to measure the power level of a signal, especially really, really tiny ones. Zero bias Shocky diodes don't have like a dead zone, so little tiny signals they'll still rectify. So you can take, if you have like a really high frequency waveform, and you know it's going to be kind of big or kind of small, zero bias Shocky diodes are a good way to be able to measure them whether they're big or small, because they don't really have a dead spot, hence zero bias. I have worked extensively with them at work, because we have signals that are super, super tiny, like in the millivolts. I think, yeah, like 0.5 millivolts was what we needed to measure for a high frequency, 10 megahertz signal, so very hard to do. Had to go deep into zero bias Shocky diodes. Hello, Big Tart. How's it going? Glad to see ya. I had baked potatoes today. That's almost similar to what your name is. Imagine if the Necromancer could take the bones of corpses and mix them with the others so you could have a regular skeleton skull and a dragon skeleton body. That'd be sick. The options are limitless. Necromancers are awesome. I feel like I'd like to see a good necromancer, you know, instead of an evil one. I'd like to see that done in like a TV show or something. Wouldn't that be cool? Have you ever seen that? I don't think I have. They're always evil, you know? I guess there is something kind of cruel about bringing back the corpse of a dead one. Something kind of inherently evil about that, not letting them rest. But maybe, I mean, I'd like to see a good necromancer who recognizes that, you know, once you die, this either there is no soul in general, or that it moves on and just recognizes that it's just a, I don't know, just a body. Like there's nothing too special about it. Anyways, good night. It's officially May 12th. Enjoy your sleep, Echo. For me, it is still 8 hours away from being May 12th. That's kind of crazy. Necro Warden. Oh. Necro Warden, you say. The TV show could be him trying to reunite dead loved ones with their families, but only if their souls allow him to. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I could see that being a good movie. A good necromancer is a doctor. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, sometimes I like to think, what are the fantasy equivalents of real world jobs? You know, like, if you were thrown into a fantasy world, or if you were raised in a fantasy world, what would you do based on your current job? So, like, if you're a nurse in real life, you'd maybe be like a cleric. I'm an electrical engineer. I guess I'd be like an artificer, something like that. Maybe like a wizard, harnessing magic for like medical use. I think it'd be a wizard of some sort, maybe. I don't know. But then the game development stuff, maybe some sort of like illusionist magic, or some sort of entertainer, like a bard. I don't know. There's quite a few books and games that have good necromancers already. Really. I am open to game recs. I probably won't read a book, honestly, which is kind of pathetic. But I'd play a game. Witch. Yeah, maybe I'd be a witch. R.I.P. unemployed people. Yeah, they could be adventurers, you know? Adventuring about. Alright, there we go. Burn the witch. What? Don't burn me. Alright, what's next? Well, apparently there are a handful of similar games that follow the same. Okay, so I go like this. Well, apparently there are a handful of similar games that... And then I need to point at similar games. So he's gonna lean back. And... close his eyes, I think. Like so. Like it is. Then we're gonna go like this. Talking out of the side of his mouth. And we're gonna move his head so it looks like he's like leaning back a smidge as he points, or rather gestures. Like this. We have little armpit frumples. There we go. Sorry, guys, I was ignoring you. Warlock, because I don't know what my code does, and it scares me. That's really funny. Like my idea earlier about him mixing up the bodies, he can make centaurs by combining a human skeleton with the back of a horse skeleton. That would be cool. What would a goblin taco be made with? Ooh. Yeah, that's a good question. Probably some human flesh, some leaves from the ground, and some twigs. Maybe some fish scales. That's my guess. Hi, now I'm going to go do something else. Bye. All right, Lucky, thanks for dropping by. Or you take a bunch of snake bones and add 3 dragon skulls to make a hydra. That'd be sick. Yeah, I like this idea of Necromancer getting creative by mixing and matching. Are you saying the taco is made by a goblin or the taco is made by goblins? I see, by goblins. Yeah, some human toes for sure. I feel like a toe really... Yeah, fermented toe jam really brings the dish together. Can you even really consider it a meal if it doesn't have fermented toe jam? Goblin or not, I feel like that's a necessity. Am I doing this right? It looks like he's... No, I'm not. The thumb's on the wrong side. I know how to draw hands, guys. Hands are hard. I hate hands. Hands and... Can you tell I'm really good at multitasking? Yeah, I guess mostly just hands at this point. I hate a hand. Maybe your necromancer could be an artist to explain his creativity. That'd be fun. What if you found a T-Rex skeleton? That'd be crazy. Reminds me of in Mario Odyssey it was just a regular T-Rex, not a skeleton, right? Yeah. Maybe the necromancer is a baby and doesn't know what it's doing, so it makes toys from the undead. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, a little bone rattle, shakes its little rattle and causes all sorts of mayhem. I like that. Guys, when I look at this exact angle, it looks like I have like the anime glasses, you know, where the light's shining. It's kind of funny. All right. Now we add a few more of these. Tracy trace time. Tracy. You know, when I was a kid, I did a lot of tracing. I think that's where I kind of learned my art. I have another artist friend. We kind of joke that every good artist started as a tracer as a child. Not that I'm that good, but you know what I mean. I used to have a how to draw manga book. I didn't even know what manga was. I don't think my parents did either. But pretty awesome. Pretty cool. I traced a lot as a kid. Used to trace all the video game characters from my Nintendo Powers magazine. Heck yeah. Yeah, I used to do it from the Smash Bros. Guidebook because they'd have every single character that I cared about pretty much as a Nintendo kid. That's fun. Oh, and Paper Mario. I loved Paper Mario, dude. I've also read Michael's journal in the game. Why in the entirety of the world did you give him such depressing lore? He ate human flesh and liked it. You know what? It was almost so much worse, Mason. I wanted to make it so that he trapped his family in the basement I forgot what I actually ended up doing. I thought I removed his tragic stuff. I was gonna make it so that you could find his basement and it'd be his family and they were trapped down there and he was gonna eat them, or he did eat them. But I ended up. I asked the Patreon chat and they were like, "Yeah, maybe not." They wanted him to be wholesome. What can you do? What is wrong with you? I don't know. I just like I like the juxtaposition of like cute town building game with just like darkness. I think it's funny. But yeah, maybe there is something wrong with me. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is good. It is really good. I love that game. My only complaint is sometimes you just have to walk really just comically long distances over and over again. Like in the Twilight level, Twilight Town or whatever it's called. Bro, walking all the way to and from that haunted place is so annoying. Yeah, it's very goblin-y, to be fair. There were no signs. Yeah, honestly, if I go on some sort of like crazy cannibalism spree, the evidence is right here. Like, a jury of my peers would condemn me for sure. But yeah, I love Thousand Year Door. It just felt so like every little new area was so distinct. And then there's that quest at the end where you're kind of going on like a wild goose chase through every area that you went to. It's just so fun. And the recipe book, bro, I don't know why I was so fixated on filling out that recipe book. It was just so like, I don't know. I loved it. I loved that game. You gave poor Michael a taste for human, but at least you didn't go with the other option. Yeah, it could have been worse. Do goblins use skincare, like jars of grease to help make pimples? Yeah, you need those beautiful pimples for sure. Yeah, grease and mud. Definitely essentials in the goblin skincare routine. Definitely essential. For sure. For sure. I don't really have a skincare routine. Is that bad? I just kind of... I guess I put on moisturizer whenever I remember. And like I'll wash my face in the shower. And then if I'm ever like walking like throughout the day, if I'm ever like, ooh, my face is all oily, I'll like wash my face with water until it feels not oily. But that's it. Uh-oh, I have to sneeze, gang. This is bad. I'm joining my first game jam. Any game dev tips on how to complete a game in 10 days and not get stuck? That is a good question. I've actually never done a game jam, so I can't give you very good advice. But I guess just try to get all the essential stuff done as quickly as possible and try to leave the fluff until the end. That's all I got. Yeah, try to figure out what at the bare minimum do you need to get your game done. Do that, and then try to tag on more as you go. But yeah, that sounds tough. It sounds fun, though. I want to do a game jam. The problem is I can't really justify... I'd have to like take time off work, maybe. I guess I could do it after work and stuff, but I feel like I wouldn't be able to put my best foot forward if I was only given like a few hours each day. Sunscreen's all you need? I see. I have gotten a lot tanner. I've been running every day. My skin is very... I don't know if you can... Oh, it's not showing up. No, it's not showing up very well. I have bad tan lines. How have you stayed committed to or disciplined to your game for so long? I think it's because I believe in the idea. And I only believe in the idea so much because it's kind of been done with Terraria before, and I'm just kind of making top-down Terraria with some twists. So I feel like I can look at the idea of the game in my head and say two things. I can say I know exactly what it's going to look like, and I can say I think it'll be fun with confidence. You know, it's not like I'm unsure about what I'm going to add. Like, I know exactly what the game needs, and I think it'll be fun. So I think those two things really help a lot. If I were making a game where I was being super innovative, I think I would struggle a lot more. Because I'd constantly be like, is it, this hasn't been done before. Is this even going to be fun? It would be harder. And yeah, I think that's the big reason. For the necromancer ideas, you could have some goblins talk about a goblin who went missing a few years ago. Ooh, and then fight the skeleton. That'd be sick. Oh yeah, he went missing in the old woods, in the dark forest. Go find him. There could be a dramatic reveal where it looks like he's standing there, and then you click on him, and then the screen like glitches out, and he like freaks out. Like in Hollow Knight, you know what I'm talking about? If you've played Hollow Knight, you know what I'm talking about. Something like that. That'd be fun. There's something creepy about when a game like in Hollow Knight, no spoilers, I think. I'll try to say this in a non-spoiler way. You walk up to this thing, and you click on it, and the game kind of stops. And the thing like kind of twitches, and it like I think it zooms in a little bit, and it's just really uncanny. It's like, whoa, this has never happened in this game, and I've been playing this game for like 50 hours. Something about that. I'd like to do something like that, where something just kind of uncanny happens. If you want developers you can trust helping you work on your game, you should do game jams with them. Yes, that is a good idea. Hope everyone had a good day. Make sure to smile. Thank you. Lucky eye. I'm gonna call you Luck. Do you get burned out? Yes, actually I just took a month off. Yeah, I had been feeling a little burnt out, and yeah, I decided to get out and socialize a little more. So I'm feeling a lot better. I'm not gonna, I think, go back to my old pace of like 40-ish hours a week. I think I might cut down to like 30 and try to socialize a bit more. But I definitely do burn out. What about when you hit walls in your development? Like when an area is harder to code and you get stuck on it. I'm somewhat newer to programming. I keep hitting walls every time I work. Yeah, definitely. I've stopped projects because of that. I've just hit a wall so big where I'm like, oh shoot, I just realized I made a huge mistake and I have to change how this all works because when you change scenes, my whole system doesn't work. And I just quit. But sometimes, and then on the next project, I'll think about that ahead of time, and then I'll run into a different wall. I'll be like, oh shoot, I did all my pathfinding, but now when all the enemies do it, it lags the game too much. I have to completely redo how pathfinding works to use hierarchical pathfinding. Oh my gosh, that's so annoying. Maybe I'll get to it later, and then I kind of quit. So then the next time I start, I'm like, okay, I can use all my pathfinding code, but I need to change it. So like, for me, it's been, stopping and restarting new projects and kind of going smaller each time. But yeah, Burnout's tough. Burnout's very tough. Not fun. Why do games have to be so hard? Let's see what I have to draw next. Follow the same top-down Terraria formula, with the big ones being core keeper. Oh, I just have to write top dogs. I can do that. Top dog. Hot dog. Do 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 do. Since music hurts enemies when you play it, then you could make a goblin that is actually good at music who can heal you. If you're not currently in a fight, that'd be sick. I do like that idea. If you're open to game Rex, I'll curse you with mine. Fear and Hunger and Fear and Hunger 2 are the worst games I've ever played, and yet they're my favorite. It's very hardcore in subject matter, similar to Berserk, so heed warnings if you're sensitive to anything. Interesting. Fear and Hunger. Let me, I'm going to write that down. I don't want to forget. Okay, guys, my brother-in-law was telling me about a game. Help me out with the name of it, because it was a weird one. It's a new game. Apparently, it's really highly rated and very positively acclaimed. It's like Final Fantasy, but it's like I think it's made by French people, and apparently the composer hasn't composed anything before. Like he's done some like SoundCloud stuff, but apparently it's like a banger soundtrack that's really a horror dungeon crawler. Okay, I'm gonna download this. This looks awesome. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's a French game. It's new. It's like Final Fantasy, but with kind of like, yeah, he said it plays like a Final Fantasy game. It has a weird name. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Clear Obscura Expedition 33. Yes. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, coming in clutch. I appreciate you. Yeah, it was that one. I need to add that to my wish list as well. I'm actually just going to add this one to my cart because this looks sick. Expedition 33. $50, huh? Guess I can just show it. I've heard good things. I haven't even looked at the trailer or the images yet. Huh. Cool. You'll have to check that out. I thought it'd be overwhelmingly positive, but very positive. I've found if a game says overwhelmingly positive, I pretty much unilaterally will like it. I've found that to be the case. I found very positive. I have to really be into the genre, and I'm not really into this type of RPG, but hey, maybe I'd like it. May I also ask what got you into making games and what your process is? I'm very inspired by your style, but I'm lost on steps to making the content. Oh, but game devlogs. I see. Yeah. I got into it because I saw really successful ones, and I thought this is a good way to build a community and get lots of views. And I think that's the case. I think most of my success so far has been because of YouTube. My process is I write a script. I try to do a little 10-15 second intro where I ask a question or I hint at something within that 10 to 15 seconds, some sort of hint that doesn't really get answered until the very end. So something like, I added farming, but something went wrong, or I don't know. That's a really bad example, but I'll hint at something new that's being added that kind of lingers in the back of their mind, so that at no point through the video does the viewer think, oh, they already answered my question, I'm out of here. Because if I say I added something crazy about farming or whatever, and then a minute into the video I actually answer it, then the people who saw that and were sticking around for that, they're going to leave right here, and then my retention's going to be god awful. So I try to do that, and then I do a bunch of miniature versions of those. So I'll be like, all right, so I added that cool farming thing, but before I talk about that, I added this cool livestock thing. I added this cool, other thing, where, I'll mention right here, I added some cool livestock thing. Here's what I did. I did the art. I did this, and here it is. Ooh, yeah, there's the reveal. Then I added this other thing, and so on. So you kind of have to always keep some question or some interesting thing lingering in the back of their minds. That's kind of the important thing. And it seems scummy, but it's just, you got to do it. I mean, if you watch any video on YouTube, the good ones, they're doing something like that. Like, how's this going to turn out? I don't know. Let me watch. Because who's going to watch a video if they know exactly what's going to happen, And then in here, you got to squeeze some sort of call to action. Like, hey, make sure you go comment. Like, comment, subscribe. And try to make it funny. You want people to have a reason to leave a comment. I like to do a few things. I say, by the way, I read every single comment, so even if I can't respond to them, make sure to leave me something nice. That way, let's say somebody didn't really have anything to say. Now they do. They could say, you don't read every single comment. Or they say, since you're reading this, I hope you're in the bathroom right now. It gives people the opportunity to comment something funny, because otherwise maybe they didn't have anything to say. You kind of need to give them something that they can say. You could even just say, leave a comment to help the algorithm like me. And then they'll leave a comment that just says algorithm, Just anything that'll get them to do anything. And then the thumbnail and the title are also hard. You just need to, I don't know. First off, the thumbnail has to be visually appealing, which if you're not an artist can be hard. It has to be pretty. and it has to be relevant. And the title, yeah, the problem is people are really in tune with clickbait. Like, if you do something too clickbaity, like, I added this to my game, it kind of reads as low quality, I've found. I like to have my titles... I've noticed the really successful devlogs, well, a lot of them are things like, I added, and then they just put, like, technical jargon. Like my video where I said, generating worlds with stitched wave function collapse. Like, that's just, bam, technical jargon, sounds cool. I'm going to click on that. That sounds awesome. He's going to explain it to me. Or videos like 3 years of making a game, or videos titled Devlog 0 or Devlog 1 do really well too, because people like to see the start of things. So it's hard. Look at what videos do really well. Not copy, but try to sense a pattern in their titles and what they're doing well, and just try to make an appealing thumbnail. I hear faces are good. If there's a face in your thumbnail, it doesn't have to be a human face. I put goblin faces in mine. Also, good contrast. I use a lot of, you want like good value contrast, so black mixed with white, or not black mixed with white. Darks and lights, you don't want it to be too like, just general art stuff, just general art tips. You need good value contrast. You need good color contrast. Just make it visually appealing, I guess, is the moral of the story. That's my devlog spiel. But yeah, I think it's... Oh, another big thing. I like to target it not towards devs, but towards gamers as much as possible. And what that looks like for me is not talking about technical stuff. So instead of saying, oh, I added a new farming mechanic, here's what I did. I made it so that there's a 2D array of all of the locations in the world, and the 2D array uses a struct that looks like this, where there's an X integer and a Y integer. No gamer is going to give a single crap about that. You need to talk. You just need to say, hey, I made this cool farming system. I made it like this because I thought it'd be fun. This other game does. Talk about the result. Don't talk about the process too much, which is unfortunate because to a developer, oh, this is gold, finding all those nitty-gritty details. But unfortunately, that's just not going to get you wish lists. And if your goal is wish lists, it's a waste of time. If your goal is spreading knowledge and being, then sure, do it. But you're not going to get a ton of wish lists if that's your goal. But yeah, that's my philosophy when I do the devlogs. I think that's really all my big tips. Let me think if there's anything else. Yeah, at the end of the day, you need to get as many people to click on your video as you can, and you need them to stay as long as you can. And you can actually see in the YouTube analytics, you'll see a graph that looks like this, where this is your video. Let's say your video is 8 minutes and 42 seconds long. It'll show you, what percentage of people were watching at certain points. So you can actually see if there's a big cutoff here. You'd be like, oh, everybody left at the 4-minute mark. And you can go look at that moment and figure out what it is. Did you answer one of these questions and then they didn't care anymore about the other two? Or did you have some drop in quality? Or was there an annoying ad? Maybe you added a sponsor? Things like that. So you can kind of look at the analytics and figure out what's wrong. Most of the time, it's going to kind of look like this. Mine kind of look like this. I don't know. You can kind of figure out where people are losing interest. And then you can also look at your click-through rate to see, oh, a lot of people are seeing my thumbnail, but nobody's clicking on it. So maybe it's just garbage, or maybe it's just not interesting. Maybe, yeah, things like that. That's my devlog spiel. But yeah. Do you design the script for your video before doing anything else? Yes. Here's the first thing I do is I write out a big list of what I did. So let's say I added farming, livestock, and what's another thing? Fishing. I don't know. That would be a stacked devlog because those are all huge things to add. And then I also added some small things. I fixed a bug. I added a gold armor. Let's say that's what I did that 2 months or whatever. I also do them every 2 months, which I used to do them every month, but that was too much. I would pick my favorite to make as kind of the theme of the video. So let's say I thought my fishing system was just so innovative, and it was like the new fishing mechanic that's just so crazy. I would maybe think, okay, well, the whole thing's going to be about fishing. So I'm going to title the video, I reinvented fishing in games or something like that. That's clickbaity. And people are, that's a really cocky title, but let's just say we went with that. And my thumbnail would maybe be a goblin. I don't know. It would have to be really artsy looking. A goblin maybe standing on a cliff with some sort of question. I want them to be like, oh, interesting. Maybe a spear with a fish on the end. So they might think, oh, spearfishing? That's kind of fun and interesting. With maybe a question mark. Something to get them to be like, oh, he reinvented fishing? What's this, a spear? Oh, that's interesting. Spearfishing. Most games use fishing rods. Let me click on that. And then in the video, I'll do that thing that I mentioned where in the first 15 seconds, I'm like, hello, everyone. I've completely reinvented fishing. But before I get into that, so I kind of lead into the question here, and it doesn't get answered until the very, very end where I actually show the fishing. Before I get into that, let me talk about farming. Let me talk about livestock. Let me talk about my bug I fixed. Okay, now finally we can talk about the fishing. You get your answer. Okay, bye. Go wishlist. See ya. That's how I do it. Has your audience changed through the years? Maybe. I don't know. It's pretty much the same demographic. But, yeah, I don't know. What if the necromancer found a T-Rex skeleton? That'd be sick. You're amazing. Yeah, no problem. I got you. What was I doing? I had to draw something. Top dogs. That's what I'm drawing. Yeah, devlogs are hard. And don't get me wrong. They are super hard. You gotta get the pacing right. You gotta get the humor right. And then a huge factor of my success, I think, is these drawings. I think you either need really good camera footage or doodles or, I don't know, you need something to set you apart because everybody and their mother is making devlogs. Obviously, a really good game will set you apart, but to accelerate you even quicker, you want people to look at your videos and say, you want comments like, dang, this is underrated, you should have more subs. People should get like high quality vibes from your videos. To the point where they're like, what is going on here? Why doesn't this person have more subs? Whether that be just investing in good camera equipment and obviously you can build up to that. I'm not expecting you to go buy a $500 camera or whatever, but whatever it may be. In my case, I think it's adding these drawings, and I've improved on them over the years. I used to not have them wiggle, but I found that the wiggle helps a lot. Just anything that oozes quality. Anything that you can do quickly that oozes quality that kind of sets you apart, I think will be a lot of help. But of course, if the game just isn't that interesting to people, you're going to get less views. My videos didn't do as well until I restarted the game to make it more like, not turn-based. I can hire Francis Scott Key to do some more soundtracks for you. Francis Scott Key. That name sounds familiar. Who is that? Francis, huh? It's kind of a fun name. Photoshop's so nice, dude. I love this. I subscribe to the Goblin Doodles. I see. Trace the O to get to the right proportions. Yes. It's actually a little angled. There we go. Oh, he wrote the Star Spangled Banner. I was about to say, that name sounds familiar. Is this somebody that I know? Yeah, that'd be sick. I think we need some more patriotic tunes in Isle Goblin. I've been really thinking that's been missing. We'll do some some 3Dization here really quick. Like so. Top dogs. Hot dog. Oh, say, can you see? I found that I can't sing in tune. It's kind of bad. Like, whenever I sit there with a tuner and I try to sing, I can't really do it very well. Like, I can play my violin kind of in tune, but my singing is so much worse. It's like my voice won't obey what I tell it to do. It's kind of crazy. I think I wasn't born to be a singer. I'm a singer. Up on my finger. Has YouTube ad revenue paid decently? I get about $1 for every 1,000 views. So most of my videos get like 100 to about 100,000 views, which is like $100. So think about how much time I spend on these drawings. I spend maybe 24 hours per video for $200, so $10 an hour. Not to mention, I mean, I can't just make videos all day, every day. Like, I need content, so I have to make the game too. So 2 months of work packed into a video, and I get $200. You know, that is not that's not good money. But the sponsors are cash cows. If you have a video that's gonna make 1 to 200,000 views, that's like $2,500. That is fat stacks. I only choose sponsors that I think are reputable, though. I've probably had 300 people reach out. Well, different companies. I'd say maybe like 50 different companies reach out and be like, "Hey, can you sponsor our thing?" And I'd be like, "No, because I don't support this product." The only real sponsor I've had is SNHU, where I've been like, okay, well, this is a university. I can get behind this. But they pay freaking fat stacks, dude. That's worth it for sure. I need to hop off. Have a good rest of the stream. All right. Thanks for dropping by. It's been real. It's been real. But yeah, sponsors are where it's at. Yeah, welcome to my... I have had Raid Shadow Legends reach out. I'm like, I'm not going to be one of those people. Same with NordVPN. They're like, would you like NordVPN to sponsor you? I'm like, I'm good. I don't want your money. Your accursed money. But it is pretty awesome. So YouTube can be pretty lucrative if you can get them sponsors. But yeah, ad revenue, not it. Not it at all. Did Honey ever reach out? That's actually a good question. Off the top of my head, I don't think so, but I might have an email somewhere. I saw some videos about the Honey scandal. I didn't really watch them. Something about... I think I started one like months and months and months ago, but I never finished it. Was it a Hank Green video? Did he do a video on it? I love Hank Green, dude. Does anyone here watch Dropout? Dropout TV, the College Humor improv show. I guess it's a streaming service. It's pretty fun. Did you see Markiplier perfectly predicted what was going to happen? That's awesome. I love Markiplier. I was never much of a... When I was younger, I never really would sit and watch everything that a YouTuber put out like some people do. Like, I was never the person to watch PewDiePie, all the PewDiePie videos, or all the Markiplier videos, or even I don't know. anything like that. I was never like a... I would watch YouTube just to watch like a random video here and there. But I kind of wish I did, because I missed out on a lot of YouTube lore as a child. Do you screen record every time you sit down for content, or are you selective about it? I'm selective about it because I hate fishing through video for hours on end. So what I do is I write the script, and then I'm like, all right, in the script I talk about farming. I'm going to go open the game right now and record some footage of me farming. And sometimes I'm talking about things and I'm like, ooh, there was this weird bug. Look at this. And if I forgot to record the bug, sometimes, I mean, if I have a funny looking bug, I'll hit record on it and I'll be like, oh, I'll save this for the devlog. Let's say I forget. Sometimes I'll intentionally recreate the bug for the devlog so that I can show it. So yeah, I record everything right at the end when I'm actually making the video. So actually, after I do these drawings that I'm doing, I'm going to have to go and record a bunch of videos, which is actually my least favorite part of the process. Just so menial, you know. And I reuse a lot of game footage. Sometimes I'll spend, 30 minutes just doing stuff in game, so I have kind of a B-roll, for when I'm just yapping. I can actually show you my folder here. This is all my clips. So in my most recent video, I played Tinkerland's Necess, Core Keeper. Here's me talking about, in my last video, I talk about the mushroom brain, I talk about invisibility, I talk about fish, I talk about items and potions, I talk about buffs and debuffs. So you can see I went and grabbed a video for each and every single one. Just lots of videos. That's what I do. I like Game Changer a lot. Nice. Haven't paid for their subscription yet. Yeah, I actually got to see them live in LA. It was kind of fun. Some of them anyway. What do you use to screen record? Trying to make my own devlogs and they suck. Oh, OBS. That's actually what I'm using to stream right now too. And it's free. OBS is awesome. Yeah, you can stream with it. You can record with it. Huge fan. Hope to catch the next stream. Yeah, no problem. Hope to see ya. What's your fave part of the process? So the video process, I like the drawings. The drawings I actually don't really get tired of, which is good because I have to do like hundreds of them. It's like I don't really just draw. I do pixel art, but that's kind of different, It's very rare that I get to just sit down and doodle. So it's like my once every 2 month just doodle binge where I just do a ton of doodling. And I get a little tired of it by the end, but... Oh, what? Oh, I don't want that. I want the pressure size one. But it's fun. I get to... What? Hey. Oi, oi. There we go. I like doodling. Very wholesome. OBS is awesome. Yeah. Do you have a list of ideas? Who, me? Oh, like for the game? Yeah, I have a list of things that I want to add eventually. Well, I have a list for nice to haves and need to haves. Yeah. Do you use shaders much? If so, do you enjoy making them? I like shaders. Yeah, I use them for my shadow system pretty extensively. I've used some compute shaders to calculate the fog. They're pretty sweet. It's really cool how fast you can get things to work. Big fan. I do like making them. I like how you can edit them at runtime, while the game is running, you can change your shader code. That's pretty awesome. Who's your favorite mod? I love all my mods equally. On Mother's Day especially, you can't be asking that question because a good mother doesn't have favorites. When's the next devlog? As soon as I finish these dumb drawings. Which, we're only 20 seconds into the video, so I've got a ways to go, it seems. Yeah, we've got a lot of drawings to do. We're maybe like 1/7 done with the drawings. But yeah, was learning multiplayer difficult for you? It was, but it really wasn't that bad. I actually kind of didn't realize it was so simple. Yeah, I am your mommy. Yeah. It's really just if you have a bunch of different computers playing the game, you know, you've got your host, or we'll call it the server, either way. And then you've got your clients. And all it really is in your script, let's say these guys all have this enemy, they all have a little object here. And on that object is a enemy script, which is just some code. You know, 1, 2, 3. You can have a start function like usual, which has just a bunch of junk. You've got your update, which just has more junk. All your typical enemy stuff like moving around or whatever. And if you want something to happen, you can use what's called a server RPC. It's just a regular function, you know, public void server RPC. It just looks like a regular boring function. But whenever somebody calls this on any of these 3 computers, it will only run this stuff right here on the server, not on the other 2. Or you can similarly have a client RPC, which is similar, where if anyone calls this, well, I guess technically only the server can call it, but if this function is called on the server, it will run on all 3 computers. So based on that, let's say you want to make a system for damage. Client 2 gets hit. So what it's going to do is it's going to call a server RPC called public server RPC. We'll call this on hit. And it takes float for damage. What that server RPC will do, will ping the server and say, hey, I got hit. This code right here will run on the server. And then that can say, okay, well, based on that, we're going to update the server's, we're going to update the HP that the server thinks is accurate. We're going to subtract some HP. And then we're going to run this client RPC, which is the on-hit client RPC, which tells the clients, hey, guys, here's your new damage. So basically what happens is the client gets hit. It tells the server. And then the server says, hey, we got hit. Hey, everybody, here's your new health. So it's pretty simple. You just it can get confusing because you're like, wait, this code only runs on the server and then this one runs on the client. You can be looking at the code and kind of confuse yourself a lot, where it's like, which computer is this running on again? But at the end of the day, in essence, it's all pretty simple. It's really not that bad. But yeah. What is Unc yapping about? Yeah, sorry, I went on a tangent there. What would you say the best way to market an indie game is? Currently, I work on making games in Roblox since it is easier to advertise there. I see. Yeah, I think the tier list for advertising goes, for me at least. I mean, obviously, all of these take a lot of time and they're hard, but I think number 1 is YouTube. Number 2 is like TikTok, like short form content, / YouTube Shorts. And Instagram Reels. And then 3, I don't know, Reddit ads maybe. 4, X/Twitter. But that's kind of whack. We're getting into the weeds here. 5, just regular Reddit posts. I consider these to kind of be a waste of time, but that's just me. That's my experience. Lots of people have success with Twitter. I'm just bad at it. But yeah, YouTube I think is pretty awesome because there's just such high engagement, You post a link there, people are going to click it a lot easier because they're on their computers most of the time. And people get more invested. You know, it's so personal. People kind of get to know you. Same with TikTok and YouTube Shorts. The nice thing about these is the problem with YouTube is it takes a lot of time to build up an audience. YouTube, if you have a banger video for your first video, YouTube might not show it to anyone. It just needs it has trust issues. You know, it takes a little while for it to learn about you and figure out what genre you're in and stuff. Whereas with TikTok and stuff, you could kind of go viral just off the gate with your first TikTok if you're lucky. So I think TikTok's really good for directing people to your YouTube channel, and just kind of general awareness. But yeah, people on TikTok don't like to click links, so good luck with that. I think a mixture of those two is awesome. And plus, it's just so nice that you can make one video and you can post it to 3 platforms. I mean, if you don't gain traction on 2 of them, if even one of them you gain traction on, that's pretty solid. But both of these are hard. It takes a lot of time. You know, it's exhausting to make videos, but both of them are good. Oh, sorry about that, Skibbity Man. I was talking about multiplayer. Somebody asked if it was hard to learn how to do multiplayer, and I was kind of explaining, well, it's just functions that run on. It's like you're making regular C# functions. The only difference being that they only run on specific computers. That's kind of it. At least in kind of an abstracted game engine application like I do. Obviously, if you're writing all your networking code yourself, yeah, good luck. But in something like Unity, using Unity's netcode for game objects, you're just kind of using their RPCs, which is pretty easy. I'm new to your channel. What game engine do you use? I use Unity. I love Unity. They had that Unity scandal, but they walked it all back. I like them again. When do you recommend I should start marketing my game? As soon as you know I am going to release this game someday. If you're making a game and you're like kind of prototyping it, you don't know if it's going to be any good, maybe wait, because you'd hate to make the game announcement and then be like, oops, sorry guys, psych, starting something new, cancel. As soon as you're confident, like, this is a game that I want to release, and you have something that you could show, as soon as possible is better. And I mean, you can always delete stuff. If you make a video and you're like, this is cringe and I don't want it to reflect on me anymore, you can just delete it. I've done that with some TikToks where I'm like, yeah, these TikToks are just bad. So I'd say don't be afraid to post, throw stuff at the wall and see if it sticks. It's easy to kind of get into analysis paralysis mode where you're like, is this good enough? But even if it's not, you can always try it, just see what happens. How many years have you been coding? My first coding experience was in high school in 2016. So about 9 years, but I didn't take it super seriously until about 5 or 6 years ago. But yeah. JW is very upset that you use Unity. He's also a fanboy furry. I didn't know that one. Oh, I see. Well, that's pretty cool. My tennis partner was a furry. He was one of the nicest people I've ever met. It is fair that he's upset that I use Unity. It is fraught with controversy these days, but what's your PC specs? Can I view that from this PC? No. How do I view that from control panel? Device manager, is that it? What's your NTRP level? I haven't played tennis since high school. Control Shift Escape opens Task Manager, right? Oh, you can view it from Task Manager? Can you? Oh, wow. Oh, hey. Yeah, all right, I'll list my specs out for you. My CPU is a AMD Ryzen 7 3700X 8-core processor. I bought that forever ago. I don't remember. I think it was decent at the time. 32 gigs of RAM. I got a hard drive with, 2 terabytes, something like that. It doesn't say here. I got an SSD with 1 terabyte. My GPU is a RTX 2070 Super. So, It was decent at the time that I got it, but I think nowadays most of this is pretty outdated. I've been kind of out of the PC world for a little while now in terms of assembly. But yeah. How long have we been going? It's been, what time did it start? 3? It's been 3 hours, 2 hours? Well, it's nearing food time for me, so I think I might head out, guys. But it's been fun. We got some good progress here. I think we did a decent number of the drawings. I'll probably watch some YouTube videos while I finish the rest later tonight. Do you think you need to master editing to create viral devlogs? I'm going to answer that before I go. My editing is pretty simple. All I ever do is, well, first off, I put in my audio that I recorded in Audacity. Super easy. I do trim this down in Audacity where I cut out any gaps in my speech. So like you'll notice I do not take a single breath. It is just talk. Like if you listen. By day, I'm an electrical engineer who works on a big spinny thing that shoots protons at tumors, but by night/weekend, I have been slaving away on this goblin game for about 2 years now. It's been coming along quite... Like it's just fast. I cut out a lot of gaps. So I put that in my editing software, and then I block out what I want to go where. That's what this text is here at the top, you know, where I talk about the drawings I'm going to add or the things I'm going to add. And then once I do... I don't use any effects. I just use the cut tool and the move tool, and I guess I kind of do like zooming in and out with the scale and the position, which is pretty easy to do. I mean, at least in Adobe Premiere, you just grab your thing, put a keyframe here for the scale, put another keyframe for a different scale. Let's say it gets bigger, and then you can move that keyframe, and then when you play it, it moves. I mean, it's really simple. It's same with the position. You just use keyframes to move stuff around. It's like you could learn this in 2 hours. It's just keyframe. All I ever change is the scale and the position. I sometimes get a little funky and I change the opacity to make it like turn invisible. Sometimes I make things rotate with rotation, but it's all just keyframes. If you want to add a rotation keyframe, bam. Now if you add a different one here that's like 90 degrees, bam, it'll slowly rotate as it goes from keyframe to keyframe. Like, it's so easy. Anyone can edit. You can learn it in hours. If you want to do something complicated, I mean, I don't do anything complicated. All I do is move stuff, rotate stuff, and scale stuff. That's it. Anyone can do it for sure. I don't think you have to be a master. I don't do anything crazy. But I do a lot of drawings to make up for it. So maybe if you want your devlog to stand out and you're not doing drawings and you don't have a good camera, maybe you need to do crazy editing. I don't know. You just got to figure out what you're good at and what you can do, or at least learn to do to stand out. But yeah. All right. Thanks everyone for coming. I guess we'll call it here, and I will see you all next time. Hope you have a good Mother's Day. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Adios.